Hello, welcome back. The maker of those iconic toy bricks, Lego, has suffered its worst fall in profits in almost 2 decades. The Danish group reported a 19% fall in operating profits to $933 million in the 6 months to the end of June.
And sales growth slowed to just 1%, marking a sharp reversal of trading seen last year when revenues grew by 17%. Despite the disappointing figures, the company says its performance is in line with expectations during a challenging time for the toy industry.
Juliet Mann spoke to the CEO of Lego Group, Niels Christiansen.
So that 5-year period from before the pandemic to after, we have grown 89%, so almost 90% in a market that has grown 12%. So people are really leaning into the Lego brand and into the Lego experiences big time, and that continues. I think that's also why we can continue to outgrow the toy market. That will fluctuate, by the way, and it has been. But even when it goes high, we've outgrown it on the high side. Now the toy market is declining a bit. We are outgrowing that. So I think that's the important thing for me, that we can continue to be as relevant and as strong as a brand, that we can continue to outgrow the market.
I wondered, though, what inflation has meant for your price range, but also for your product lines.
Yeah, inflation has been pretty hard on raw materials, and it was particularly in the second half of last year. And because of the way you carry raw material in stock until you use it, it has actually influenced our numbers also here in the first half. So we've seen inflated cost for raw material around plastic, even on transportation and some energy, go into the first half of this year. Now that kind of has normalized now when we start looking at the second half. So we have seen that, and we carried that through. We've not decided to, or we've not increased our prices on our product. We did some changes in the third quarter of last year, but since that we've kind of kept our prices and not kind of taking any price increases to cover that. So that's also why we've seen a little extra cost in the first half that we don't see necessarily continue.
Let's talk about investment and expansion, because you've been building up your business in China. I wonder, what's the strategy there?
Yeah, the strategy is to continue building that. It's like in this first half, we opened another 54 stores. So we are approaching 500 stores in China. By the end of the year, we will have surpassed, I think, the 500 number. So over 5 years, we literally built 500 stores, and we will continue to do that. The long-term perspective, I think, on China for us is very positive. There are still many Chinese children and families that haven't really gotten into the Lego brand, that live in tier 3 or tier 4 cities where we are not really known yet or in place. And we just have great success opening stores there, starting to build the brand and grow from there. So that strategy will continue, and we are continuing our investments, even though the Chinese market looks a little bit more difficult right now, and we're all looking at the Chinese economy. It's taking longer to get out of the kind of the pandemic situation, get people back into stores, and that's been slower than we had thought, but I'm certain of the long-term potential, so we keep investing.
Something else that might be difficult, might be a challenge, is what people want. I mean, how do you get children addicted to screens to start playing with the kind of physical toys that you make?
No, it's a good challenge. It's one that we're quite successful doing, so it's nothing new. Obviously, the last 5 years, that's been high on our agenda. It's by being super creative to provide some products that they just cannot resist, that they really want to work with. And then, of course, we are widely present also digitally. Now, just an example, the new Lego Dreams that we've just launched has been a content launch. So there's a lot of series out there, a lot of episodes that they've been watching since March, and it wasn't before the 1st of August that actually product was there. So we are where the kids are. We are where they expect us to be. We're relevant with them on digital platforms, but of course that we also use to make them aware of the fantastic offering we have of physical products. So children do both. And very often when they want to be physical, they lean into the Lego brand. And that's our privilege, but that's also why we keep making so many exciting products. Half of our product line is new every year to make sure we are